I was informed about an hour ago that, pursuant to what the Prime Minister had said on TV, that we would get a letter saying in effect that the deadline for the permit would be waived. In that way, we could ensure that we satisfy Madam Justice Arana's judgment in every way. One, we can use the time for the government to conduct its consultation as directed by the court with the Mayan people, and as well the judge made it very clear that the permit granted to U.S. Capital would not be struck down and that it is lawful and that the work should continue.
Now, there is concern in various parts of the wider Mayan community with regards to a decision taken by residents of Conejo to remove one of its alcaldes and have him replaced as a matter of rumor, I would want to say, that he was cozy with the company you're representing, U.S. Capital. Well,
you can ask him yourself. I mean, he's certainly not a follower. He's a leader. You can ask him if he's cozy with the company. But I did hear that. I can't see how you can just come together and arbitrarily remove an alcalde or a chairman the way the inferior courts act are set up and the way an alcalde is elected and, if I'm not mistaken, appointed by the Attorney General. So, but I also heard on the news that he had gone to the Prime Minister, and in a meeting the Prime Minister expressed in no uncertain terms that certainly that removal was illegal, and so therefore essentially he is still the alcalde in my view.
With regards to comments made by Dr. Joseph Palacio, the village chairman for Barranco, in other parts of the media, have you taken a position as the attorney for U.S. Capital with the statement he has made?
Well, I haven't read in full the text that he has given, but from what I understand from it, he made many statements, but one important one that he made was that when it comes to Satim, that the Garifuna were supposed to also be, Garifuna people were also supposed to be represented on Satim, and it was in his view that Satim was not taking that into consideration. When I was speaking to the communities and Dr. Palacio had expressed that concern to me, I had urged him to take a more aggressive stand on it. If you believe that your people have a place on Satim and you don't believe that you're being represented properly in Satim, then it is your job, essentially his job, to make his presence be known where it belongs.
Where do we go from here? There is obviously tension on either sides of this particular argument, and the company is going to proceed business as usual come tomorrow. Where do we go from here in terms of what happens either in the courts or what happens with regards to sending people out there to block the road or what have you?
Well, I don't think that there's as much tension as we may like to believe. There are a few people who, for their own self-interest, would not want to see the company proceed with its operations. I don't think that blocking the road or trying to physically block operations is the proper thing to do. Certainly Satim knows how to go to court. So I think if they do that, it is certainly something that they choose to do, and that cannot spell well, that there's no good result to that any way you look at it. The court, and we talk about respect for the courts, the judge made it very clear that the operations are to continue. The permit was lawful and consultation needs to take place. The government, from what I have been informed, is in the process of carrying out those consultations, and I don't see the danger or the problem in carrying out those consultations while the operations of the company also continue. So I don't see that there is any problem. I don't see that there is any tension. The consultations are going on, the operations are going on, and I can't see what problems would arise.